sort of biased prediction, it will be 1-0 Georgia with Mikhail scoring from the spot. Whereas objectively speaking, I do expect Spain to get over the line with the goals from Morata and Fabian Ruiz to win the game for Spain 2-0. And for one of my predictions, a bit more sort of hot take predictions, I will go with Dani Carvajal to get booked against Australia and Georgia to get a penalty off of it. With, as I said before, Mikhail converted it from the spot. It'll probably be like a sort of similar game to what it was against Portugal, with Georgia being holding like a fairly low block, over the back formation as they had for the last couple of years. We've seen Luka Lachashvili, centre back, moving out wide as a left wing back, which worked quite well against Portugal, against their sort of fast wingers. So holding a relatively lower block, trying to limit space for rather technical Spanish players, with Lamine Yamal, one of them, Nico Williams as well. So they'll definitely cause some danger, but Georgia will try to limit that possession, and try to limit that space, and will typically try to counter with one of the best performing players, forward players in the tournament, in George Mikhailtadze and Australia, who both scored against Portugal. So that'll probably be the main goal for Georgia to achieve, with the mood and the morale being quite high after a historic win against Portugal that secured our place in the round of 16. It's the first time ever for Georgia being here, and achieving something remarkable is definitely something people are really looking forward to.
I'm going to say 2-0. And I want to go from Lamine Yamal, so I'm going to say a brace for Lamine Yamal. Spain is always an attacking side, and they have proven to be real solid in attack these Euros. I think they are going to repeat one of the lineups against Croatia or Italy. Also, all the players are back. We saw Nacho and Rodri miss games due to some injuries or minor injuries, some pain, and they will be back for sure for this game. So the mood is obviously great, and I don't think that the toughest point will be this specific last 16. I think the problems that Spain could encounter would be more like if they play against Germany in the quarterfinals, or anything like the top national teams for the semifinals would be then Portugal. Like, those would be really hard games for Spain. And even though the mood is great in sports, the odds are there to be broken all the time. So the prediction is that they can do fine, at least in the last 16.
I think England will win 1-0. I think it'll be a Harry Kane penalty. My wacky bet would be there to be a penalty in the game and for a player to be sent off. The positive thing is they're not conceding goals. If you're not conceding goals, you've always got a chance of progressing and getting yourself through a tournament. But they've got to find that finishing touch. We've almost seen every kind of midfield and attacking player on the pitch at some point during the tournament after that third game. But like I said earlier, it's kind of easy hoping that something sticks and something works, rather than him having a clear tactical direction. I've said previously, I think that left-hand side is a huge problem. Nothing's changed for me. I think Trippier at left back, I understand why he's playing there, but you've got to have someone with a bit of width playing on the left-hand side of midfield, and that's just not there with Foden. I'm hoping he might try Bellingham next to Rice and get Foden in his central positions. I actually thought, although it was a poor game all round, that probably Foden's arguably his best game. When he was drifting into the centre, he was getting more and more involved in the game, and he was popping up in the pockets that you want him to pop up in. But then when he's doing that, there's a massive void on the left-hand side. And the way England are playing at the moment, the fullbacks need to bomb on. They're not. If the fullbacks aren't bombing on, John Stones needs to step into midfield. He's not doing that. It's just all very stodgy, all very basic, and England are making elementary mistakes in every game. So I can't see in this round of 16 that he isn't going to make changes. He's going to have to do 2 or 3 different things. I'd expect Kobbie Mainoo perhaps to start next to Declan Rice now after getting 45 minutes under his belt. It's just that all round, the lack of creativity from England. They're not even really missing chances. They're just not creating anything. Pickford at the end was saying we're top of the group, stay with us. Southgate will relay those messages. The players will say they're full of confidence, but watching them, there's definitely something wrong. The body language isn't great, and the tactical framework at the moment, I can't work out what England are trying to be.
Well, it's a combination of things. I know I love, one of the things I love about Spanish football in general is this thing where there's a lot of young talent emerging season after season. I think this comes from the fact that a lot of clubs are not able to like buy and transfer and get all these new signings every year, so they really need to trust in their reserve teams and their youth talents. So this definitely helps nurturing and growing these young players. There's like different clubs like Barca, like Athletic, that have their history and they believe in that. They're always producing talent, scouting, upbringing them, and working with them from very, very young ages. And finally, I also think it's the fact that we don't have a reserve teams league in Spain. So when a young player is fit enough and probably mentally ready, the teams are not afraid to bring them to the first team and play big games. Yeah, this is basically what happened to Lamine Yamal. Like he was doing great in training. He was doing great with the youth team, not even the reserve team. And he was just called up by Xavi last year. And a few games, I think it was 1 or 2 games after playing with Barca, he was already called to national duty. So I think the combination of these facts is what makes Spain one of the countries with the most gifted young players, at least very, very, very young ones.
The way the tournament started, obviously that Friday with Germany putting on the display, I think that was probably one of the best opening matches and one of the best opening games from a host nation we've seen in a long time. I've been looking at the tournament and at times I'm thinking, have these players played a bit too much football? Because it's exciting, obviously, and it's nice to see the stadiums packed and it's amazing. The vibe is amazing, but I've just seen that at times it looks like it's you can see it's a back end of the season, so players are kind of like even flowing a bit, but the quality is always still there. I think Germany, very good. Obviously, they drew the one match, but I think Germany right up there, and I think the home crowd is going to carry them through a lot of tougher tests during the tournament. Everyone is talking about Spain in terms of the way they're playing and the fluidity in their play. So I think Spain obviously is one of the most impressive sides at the moment. I've been a tad disappointed with a bit of, not disappointed, but France. You see a France with Mbappe after the first game, and then he does his whole thing to his nose, and then a France without Mbappe in that game, in the second game, and then he came back obviously when they played against Poland. Yeah, when they get him, and they look, even the energy looks a bit different when he's on. So hopefully, with him scoring the first goal and the penalty scored, they can obviously just shift into a second gear and stuff. But I'll tell you what, the team that's impressed me the most, Portugal. I think Portugal, and I'm being that guy who's been questioning not the questioning the inclusion of Ronaldo, but how great can he be in his team. Hey guys, we found out that Ronaldo can actually find other teammates and pass the ball and not score by himself. And I think, at the age of late 30s, to see that guy doing that, probably in the nicest way, the greediest footballer in front of goal. So those are the teams for me: Germany, Portugal, and Spain.
I say England winning the Euros. No, not at the moment. Unfortunately, something would have to change drastically over the next few days for me to change my mindset. I've heavily fancied them in the last 2 tournaments to go really far and do well and backed them, but on this occasion I just don't see it this time. I think France, Spain and Germany are all stronger than England. So in all honesty, I think if they come up against any of those teams, I think they'll come unstuck. So no, I can't see England winning the Euros at the moment.
And I see France winning the Euros. If you look at what happened with Italy during the previous edition, where they were not amazing during the group stage and they struggled as well. I think they even qualified and being third of the group, actually the best third of the group. So again, group stage wise, what we broadcasted, we showed to the people until now, it's not looking good. I see Spain playing better. I see Germany playing better. But we have European pedigree. It's like Real Madrid in the Champions League. Even if they're losing 2-0 until the 70th minute or 80th minute, you know they can win the game. So I believe in my team. I believe in my country. I think we can win it. I think we can reach the final. I think we can. Winning the final will be a different story. But I think we have the squad and the tools to reach the Euros final, 100%.
I ain't stopping till I